releases
Cause
spores,
damage.
right? And you also, yeah, because that was a clean check. So you also realize that the shape and coloration are different, but that the mushrooms that Wotek's been eating, that came from Blitz are it's gotta be those. You're seeing way too many similarities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
Blitz.
you know. Now, as you're watching this, you see Wotek kind of look up at you, and he doesn't really look uncomfortable. But the last thing that you notice is out of this whole kind of observation is not only does he not really look uncomfortable, he looks a little stoned. He looks just a little bit stoned, and this is intriguing as well. Okay. He very docilely is prepared to head off with the handler. So what else would you like to do now?
Ymir obviously concerned by the regrowth of the mushrooms, especially so fast within a certain time period. Hides his concern underneath his voice, but he's like, we shall meet soon, and we will figure out what the matter is.
Okay, and he just lets out kind of just a low rumble of agreement, and he turns and slowly kind of turns
Knowing
himself. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, knowing how to treat these fungus, he knows that Ymir can at least alleviate the growth a little bit by the methods that Akama used on him, but he is concerned enough to, regardless of how his brother is feeling, because it's not natural, I would think, for supernatural beings to be affected by spores and disease like this.
Not.
So that part, he has genuine concern, but he's gonna put that off until his party gets situated, or he's going to have a more one-on-one encounter with Wotek when they meet, or when he goes to try to treat this
Okay.
fungal outbreak.
That makes sense.
No.
Yeah, and you definitely have a feeling maybe getting more information. You're starting to realize you just don't have much.
Need to look up close, maybe collect a sample.
Yeah. Wouldn't be
If
bad.
anything,
And it's
as well, we do have Blitz's phone number. We can contact him.
True. All right, guys. So as Wotek spins around and kind of lumbers away slowly, and you watch that big hairy ass kind of sway back and forth and disappear behind some large kind of service doors, it looks like he's heading into what looks to be some pretty well outfitted and equipped kind of boarding facilities. So it appears as though he's going to be relatively comfortable, and you definitely, as the doors open, you smell the odor of raw meat kind of wafting out, and it's obviously feeding time, and you assume that he's going to be pretty well taken care of. Okay, so as you guys stand there and you're speaking to the receptionist, very quickly you're asked, what kind of accommodations you'd like, and then she kind of looks up from her, minutia and sees you, Ymir, and she goes, I see. We'll go for the extra large accommodations for your group. And she kind of hits a few keys on the pad in front of her, makes a few calculations, and she says, She says that will be 100 credits for one premium residential secured space for the remaining of 12 hours. She says all residents are guaranteed an evening of rest free of any molestation from outside forces. And then she says any aggressive activity will be dealt with. She kind of leans in and pulls her little tiny reading glasses down, and she says, harshly. And as she says this, she gets right back to it as though that's just part of her shtick. And as she does so, it appears as though she's just waiting for somebody to hold out 100 credits and pay the woman.
I pull out my UCC Universal Credit Card,
Okay.
and that's to be the conjoinal one.
Okay. All right. So as you pop that out, you pay her the 100. You can go ahead and deduct that. She gets paid and is completely happy right away. She processes your guys' reservation, and a small floating drone pops down from an opening that appears in the ceiling. It's only about the size of a football, and it's very shiny, reflective silver. It has a very crude black speaker grill on one side, and other than that, it doesn't appear to have any markings. It floats over in front of your group, and in a very pleasant voice, it simply says, hello, I'm Rojak. I will show you to your room. And right away, it spins 180 and just starts hovering right up this large staircase in front of you guys. It says, after it's turned around and started moving, all large and giant size customers must use the freight elevator located directly in front of you. And as you look from the stairs to the left a little, Ymir, you see that indeed there's about a 15-foot kind of arch off about 20 feet in the distance that opens into what must be like the freight system elevator. You guys all start heading up the stairs. Very uneventful. You go up 3 stories. Ymir, your elevator ride is very quick, and actually, other than the extreme feeling of claustrophobia that it seems to generate, you're able to endure without any real problem. And you're grateful because these little tiny frail ones had the foresight mechanically to make a freight elevator system that doesn't groan and strain and sound like it's going to collapse under your weight like every other one you've ever tried.
Before he gets on the elevator, Ren would have looked at Ymir and, as in a joking manner, been, I believe, Wojak wants you to get on that elevator. Just kind of giving a little nod, being like, oh, that kind of sounds like your bear's name, and also just kind of the fact that he doesn't really like technology too much. Just a playful little jab.
Ymir kind of shoots daggers at Ren at first, but then kind of grumbles underneath his breath, like.
Yeah, it's followed with an innocent smile. Nothing, not meant to be, you know. Yeah.
I see we got jokes now.
You're muted.
Oops, sorry. As you guys have that exchange, everybody gets up to the level of the
Getting cut
actual
off a lot.
room, and as you get there, you notice that it's really just kind of basic accommodations. The one thing that you're all grateful for is that it's very secure. As you come out of the freight elevator into the hallway, Ymir, you see that this floor is built for people your size. You guys are led through into your room, and quickly you guys notice that it's mega damaged concrete and carbon fiber steel everywhere. And you believe that this is definitely like a safe house. This isn't something that any kind of normal assault force is just going to come in, kick the door down, and fuck you up while you're sleeping. As you get into the room itself, you notice that it's just kind of studio style, with the rear wall mostly taken up by a large kind of suspended cot that would obviously be, the sleeping accommodations for Ymir. The bed itself, the cot itself, looks like it's about 15 feet long and probably 8 to 10 feet wide. So very, very comfortable, but a lot of the rest of the accommodations are just simply located under the cot. So you all kind of look up, really hoping that the construction is as good for the suspension of the cot itself as the walls seem to denote. And everybody is
What
left to
happens when
their...
you give a giant a top bump?
Fucking hope that thing doesn't creak. So as you guys enter the room really quickly, the little
Before
football...
we enter,
Go ahead.
Before we enter, I kind of like put my arm out on like whoever's behind me on their chest, and then I pull out my dagger, and then I peer into the room and look around to see if there's anything in hiding.
Go ahead and roll a perception check. Yeah.
Over here looking for my cursor, and it's like disappeared on me. I gotta roll a perception check in real life for that.
Okay. You notice nothing. You notice nothing.
That's close.
All right, so...
Okay. Let's walk in, guys. I
So-
tried.
Anybody want to do anything else, or heading in?
Can Ymir roll a perception check to
Yeah,
see if his
absolutely.
hair stands up on end and to see if his instincts fire at all?
Yeah,
Just smell
absolutely.
them.
I'll yes, you want to take a moment to really investigate what's going on around you, I definitely will. And if you guys ever think you have a skill that could help it out, roll that into it. I
will-
feel like everything should kind of stack, so
I will say that Ren's a bit distracted with everything that happened with Geiger, so he's kind of just still focused on getting
okay.
settled and just from point A to point B, and everything in between is just a little bit regular paranoia and freaked out about what's going on, but at the same time also being distracted constantly by the task at hand. So
As you come in, you see a nice kind of like a love seat situation that looks like it would be perfect for her to just kind of like curl up on and be able to just kind of rest. That's off to the
love.
left over by the kind of like
I'll-
kitchenette set. So
I'll take her over to that, and I'll be like, "Here's a love seat."
you
For
drop
you,
her into the
my
seat of
lover.
love, and the magic takes hold. As you plop her down, she basically just kind of curls up. It's a
When
very
you say seat of love, it sounds like a sex swing.
It does. It sure does.
Hey.
You got to sell these
Hey.
units. We're overstocked.
I mean, if you want, we could step out. Just
No.
let us know.
I do better in front of people. So yeah, as
High
you,
performance anxiety.
it's reversed. It's funny.
I swear this never happens.
I swear I love you.
Can you bring your cat in so it can watch? That might. I don't know. Okay, so as you
Wow,
guys,
all right.
as you guys get her kind of set down, you notice that she curls up in a kind of vulnerable way that is very strange, especially with the way that she currently looks. And it makes anybody seeing this wonder, where is the line with her personality between whatever this kind of machine thing is and the person that you guys were all just interacting with just a short while ago. Because even though she's in this form now, she seems a lot closer to the more human persona that you've already experienced, and it's a little
Ymir
off-putting.
still feels the same. He doesn't trust her or anything that she's about.
Okay, all right,
Neutral.
fair enough. As you
He's
guys,
basically leaving the guardianship. Ren is her guardian, so he's expecting Ren to take responsibility for her.
okay. I mean, they so far it seems like that's worked out fairly well. So, as this all transpires, what is anybody else wanting to do? The football just basically fucks off and is just it. You guys are left in the room. Everything is pretty much just, down to whatever you guys are interested in doing in the current moment. No alarms are going off and nothing's demanding your attention. So you've got a little kitchenette. You've got a small little tool bench or a small little workbench, very meager accommodations and no like onboard tools or anything, but at least a little workspace for, cleaning equipment, doing whatever you need to do. And then there's a small area with a couple of kind of bench style tables and then a couple of long sofas, as well as the love seats.
I rolled that perception check. What did Ymir's instincts? Did I? The 15.
Okay, as you look around, what you're able to discern is that you can tell that whatever this place is, you're not picking up any real signs of conflict. This room seems like a room people have come and slept in, especially after getting way too inebriated, and been on their way the next day. There doesn't seem to be any real supernatural or kind of, alarm bell ringing qualities whatsoever to you. Okay.
So it just smells like piss and merriment. I got
Yeah,
you.
exactly. That's a good way to put it. Actually, you're not picking up any kind of battlefield vibes from this place at all, which is exactly what you're hoping for. So
yeah, gunpowder, no
yeah,
sulfur smell in the air, nothing like that. Okay.
Yeah, and as you look around, you're not seeing anything that would lend itself to like, moving walls or trapdoors or fucking, ambush scenarios or any of that shit. And so right away, you're just at least a quarter notch. You're just kind of put at ease. All right. So what would everybody like to do? Like I said, everybody's basically free to, just kind of spend some time.
Ren, and I say, hey, is there any way to see if there's any type of surveillance in the room? Can you detect any, like, technology? I'm not very accustomed to this technology life, so...
Yeah, let me just look through my psionics.
While you're doing that,
GM, real quick, would that be under telemechanics or would that be under machine code?
Telemechanics, most of those abilities require you to... to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if those sense.
Sense, really, yeah.
I don't think they're made for that. I think it's more you have to identify something and then you can do all kinds of different effects.
And I don't think any of my spells really do that. I can detect invisible and things like that, but
I would say that would definitely in Palladium be called like sense machinery or something.
Yeah, probably. After he asked me that, I will do kind of a regular scan, and then maybe future plan for maybe my drones to possibly detect.
Sure. And
things like that. But
that would be a simple matter. You could put in EM scanners that, I mean, those are almost foolproof except for, for really advanced shit. You could go ahead and do a perception check if you like, if you want to specifically be looking.
Yeah, just to look around from my regular knowledge of,
God damn, I'm doing a good job. Y'all are paranoid as fuck. Paranoid as fuck. I like it. I like it.
We gotta be safe, you know.
Keep those fucking hands up, man. You don't want to. Don't.
Bro,
Mm.
keep your guard up at all times, baby. That's what Boxer taught me.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I not seeing my dice show up?
You rolled.
Oh, so the dice function is just not. It just rolled for me.
My
Okay.
dice is still in front of me.
And mine just rolled when I clicked the button. I didn't get the roll option. It's fine. So I rolled a 14 apparently.
Shitty one of roller.
Yeah, it added your +2. That just keeps it so that you guys don't have to keep adjusting shit.
I like
rolling.
I don't want to roll.
Oh, it didn't show your dice roll? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I didn't get the option to like swipe or do anything like that. It just click the button and it went instead of. Typically, when I click the button, it puts the dice on the board, and I get to slide it and roll it. This time, I just clicked it, and right away just went whoop and popped it up.
I'll check on that because I'm seeing now the whole dice roller looks different. There's all kinds of.
I mean, I
options.
still see mine.
I
So
go to my
we'll-
dice options. Oh, my dice options have become all unchecked, so that's probably why.
Okay. Yeah, we'll fuck around, and I'm sure we'll be able to find that.
Let me do a
Wow.
test one. That 14 is obviously what I'm keeping, but I'm gonna just do a test one real quick to see if this works.
Sure.
Oops, not that one. Cancel. Yeah, now it's back.
Oh, and now you can put in your Okay, man. Yeah.
Oh, I rolled a 14 again, so. Right, yeah.
Hey. All right.
You know it's real.
Let's see. So as you're looking around, you notice that there only appears to be one kind of surveillance-esque device, and it's simply a smoke alarm. That's the only thing that and it's a mundane one. It's not even like you'd guess
just
that
go
it's
up to
probably
go-
got a carbon monoxide detector, but that's about all the bells and whistles
Can
it's
I
packing.
Pop off the
Yeah, you take the case off. As you
case off
look
real
at
quick
the
and
inner
give it a quick
workings,
inspection.
you're 100% sure that there's not any illicit tech in
Legit?
here. It's
Okay.
just right off the shelf. So, yeah, and that's all you see.
It seems this room is pretty clean, safe.
Okay.
I'm not
Give
detecting.
them thumbs up.
I'm not detecting anything with my special abilities that you don't know what I have.
Okay,
Thank you for that.
you already hear a kind of cybernetic, low, humming snore start coming from Geiger, which takes you all by surprise and makes you all kind of glance over because it doesn't. You're not sure why anything cybernetic would need to snore or wouldn't be able to stop itself from snoring. That doesn't really. You've never heard of that before. So, okay. That's the scene, though, and like I said, you guys have little kitchen facilities, workbench, and quarters for sleep. There's a large, squared off, kind of partitioned area in the far right corner, and that looks like it has both an oversized toilet and shower setup, and then in a smaller little kind of room next to it, it looks like there's maybe two normal sized stalls.
Thank God. So we'll be like little
and
kids trying to pee in
showers.
a big boy potty and falling
So
with their butts
yeah,
sticking in
you
the water.
guys everybody gets to hide their pee-pee, so it's good.
Is there a
I don't.
landline in the area?
I don't have to.
You don't have to. You get your own goddamn room. God damn. Is there what?
Is there like a landline?
You're
contact?
you're not seeing any kind of communications gear at all, and that is something sometimes you have heard being common whenever there's kind of a quote-unquote safe room set up, instead of just like, hey, we're out on the street in a fucking nice hotel, whatever. You get the feeling this place is more geared towards not just people that need a place to stay. They're looking for like an actual really secure place, you know what I mean? Maybe somebody's
Nice.
after them,
Okay.
something like that. So,
This-
Go
and
ahead.
just
Okay.
less points of entry for intrusion.
I was just
so.
the humming that was coming from Geiger.
She's just
um,
snoring.
It's just like a snore. It's nothing up beyond that. Like it doesn't seem.
It's all it seems like. You would you would guess that it's a human woman doing it relatively lightly, but it's like
altered
got
by
a filter on it almost. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's uncanny. So
sure.
Go
Good.
No, you gotta finish.
I was just gonna say I was gonna check on her to make sure of that, and then I was going to possibly do something else, but that's not gonna come till a little bit. So you go, please.
So Ymir's with us, yeah?
Yep.
So I look at both of them and say, when we were getting toward this motel, I had turned on my supernatural eyes and peered around the vicinity while we, walked in, and I caught a glimpse of a very odd looking creature. It had a like a hat. Hey GM, can I see that picture again?
Absolutely. My bad, man. I should have.
Top hat with tree frog.
I shouldn't have
skull
made
mask,
you ask for that. That's part of my job.
jar of ramen,
My bad.
fucking voodoo doll
So
pin.
I go and I get a remembrance in my brain to figure out how he looked like. I look up into the sky and I say, it looked like a fella with like a brown hat, bushy beard, kind of like a fur-like cape, maybe like a skull-like mask, I believe, or maybe that's his face. Did you guys ever come across this type of creature before?
Does this character seem short, like a dwarf stature, or is it just like the perspective of the picture?
Just the perspective of the picture, just kind of illustrating how tall the other creature is.
Sorry, Barry, go ahead. Just trying to.
Oh, I was just saying, instantly from Akama's description, Ymir's eyes sharpen and you can see a twinge of anger and rage and trepidation, kind of remembering this creature that Akama is describing. And he looks down at Akama and goes, "Dark One."
Okay.
Where did you see this being?
Behind us and toward the tree line?
Outside this establishment.
Yes, correct.
So whatever this dark one may be, it knows that we've come here.
Correct.
Do we still think we should stay?
Um,
I mean, this place does seem quite secure, though. But
very secure. I would suggest we be more chill, but at the same time stay on guard.
unfortunately, that goes against what I was planning. I was hoping to possibly see if I could get my vehicle here so I could have access to more tools. I need to look at one of my drones that you noticed some type of malfunction or tracking on us. Also, I had other ideas to possibly work tonight to maybe get a couple of things enhanced, but my little expedition for grabbing my vehicle and maybe a quick shop session doesn't seem like it's possible if we've got a shady figure hanging out outside.
Let me interject something real quick, guys.
Of course.
It's so we're running on a pretty long stretch without you guys being able to actually like rest and sleep, and you're all starting to notice the effects of that. Now the Atlantean, you don't even, it's hardly even a fucking, you just notice you're not like 100%, you're like 97, right?
I just woke up.
Ymir, you're starting to feel a little, there's just been so much happening that you're not physically fatigued at all, but especially being in this environment, you are not comfortable here, and it's starting to kind of, you wouldn't mind at least sometime in the next, couple hours being able to kind of rest. And Ren, you're definitely getting fucking tired.
I'm on fumes. I'm on fumes.
You're tired. You would guess,
yeah,
though.
I would probably understand that, but still be trying to get everything, like, although on fumes, still praying and hoping to get everything situated so at need be we could move, but understandably, like,
Absolutely.
the-
I just want to give you guys a
with the-
reference
of
point
course.
because in
But
this
with
place it's
with
always
this
night,
being,
so it's a little disorienting.
with
you know
this
what I mean?
being an extra possible threat.
Oh, absolutely. Whatever
I
you want to. I just want to
no,
keep
for
that
sure.
frame so that you're like, you're kind of making decisions according to it. So, good shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
go ahead.
So yeah, Ren would be like, yeah. So I don't think I'm gonna follow through with what my earlier plans were. But I guess best for me would be to somewhat keep an eye on Geiger and get a bit of rest myself.
Yeah.
Akama, you right away start remembering.
You cut out.
You can't hear me?
Say
Now I
again?
can.
No, now you can.
Oh,
Yeah. Go
fuck!
ahead.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you're getting
It's just mainly at the end of sentences.
yeah, you're getting clipped
try
off at the
that.
end of some things.
Does that
Today, for
sound
some
any
reason.
better?
Yes.
Great. I
Okay.
just when you were talking, it just cut out.
Okay. Yeah, I had
I'm
to
not sure
leave
if
the
it's
auto
Discord
level
or-
setting on. That's something I still need to kind of mess around with a little bit.
Yeah, it's still
Um,
doing it though.
There
Still
you
cutting off
did
at the
get
end.
it
Yeah.
twice.
He said it was still doing it though, but it chopped in the middle of each word.
Yeah, I'm not sure
It
what's
might be
going
fine
on
on
there.
hopefully it's fine on the audio, but for Discord
It
at
could
least
be a
it's
Discord situation.
Check.
yeah, it might be
Looks
settings on
right.
Discord. I've had people on Discord that get cut off at the ends of their things because of the
That
sensitivity
could be.
settings and the other filters that they have on for like
Okay.
noise cancellation or crispness and stuff.
All right. Well, if it
Crispy.
sounds messed up,
You're
you guys
good
just
right
let me
now.
know. Okay.
You come through clear, it just cuts you off at the end sometimes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Bear was I was messing with my audio before we started, and it's an ongoing process. So so
He just did it again.
oh shit.
You said
When Bear
"Don't
went-
bear," and then cut off.
Let me try this real quick. Let me disconnect from Discord. I'll pop right back on.
Yeah, it's getting worse it seems actually. I guess when your tone starts to fade out and go down in volume, it just cuts it.
Yeah, because it doesn't seem
Mic
like it's the same
sensitivity.
How's it
volume.
sounded now?
No, you're good.
You always sound clear. It's just every
Say-
once in a while it'll clip
Say
out.
something continuously.
Let me see if I can get it to open up the section in the settings that I was having
That's
trouble with
perfect.
earlier.
Sounds smooth right now.
You're perfect.
Maybe
Yeah, you're
maybe
sounding
that's what it was,
smooth right
guys. I actually
Yep.
Discord more than anything else. I have to reload. I don't know
Have
why.
you tried turning it off and on again? Yeah.
I get some real fucking problems. Anyway, okay, so as you guys are hanging out in here, Akama, you remember the events from earlier this evening and realize that, you know, there may be some more activity happening tonight. Let's see what else. So let's just go ahead and open it up there. And like I said, what's everybody wanting to do? And you
Ren's
guys
gonna
don't,
lie down. Oh,
you guys don't have to do any kind of like detailed analysis if you don't want to. You guys can go as quickly as you want, or if you want to use some of your downtime to do shit, just let me know.
I'm gonna go downstairs to the bar and get a drink.
Okay?
Ren's gonna lie down next to the love seat by Geiger and place his malfunctioning throne on his chest and start tinkering with it, and probably within a couple of minutes of maybe getting a couple of pieces dismantled, pass out with it on his chest.
Okay. And that
Nice.
is exactly what happens. You don't find anything wrong with it per se, though, in your time.
Oh, yeah,
on it.
I had probably hardly even cracked it open by the time I just
Yeah. Okay.
passed out.
Not at all.
Okay. Yeah, you're done. You're done for the evening. You're not even really not even really hungry or anything else. You're just ready
Yeah.
to fucking
I basically
rest.
shoved a bag under my head, I guess, like a makeshift pillow, so I could kind of focus on the device. And I wouldn't normally work on something like this, but the fact that I was pretty exhausted, I was like, yeah, I'll do this, and maybe get some sleep in a bit. And then before I even got to investigate it, maybe
Boom.
opened it up slightly, just fade it all away.
Yeah.
As I make my way to the doorway, I look at Ymir and I said, I'm gonna go downstairs for a drink. I think I need it.
Okay.
Ymir nods slowly, steps up, looks at Ren, looks at Geiger, and looks back at Ren, and harshly says, "Watch her," and follows Akama out of the room downstairs.
I probably hear nothing because I'm probably already asked that.
You don't hear a giant. If you don't hear a giant speak, you must be really tired.
It makes you jump
fucking
just
knock the fuck
briefly, and you just
I'll be like,
waking up and be like, oh yeah, okay.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
He said something, I don't know, whatever. Good night.
I heard something, so I just agreed to it. Yeah.
Good shit. All right, so you two head down the bar. We'll say you both just ride the elevator this time. You head down and the bar is open and pretty goddamn basic. Everything is just kind of cafe style when it comes to food service, and it's like a bar grill kind of atmosphere. There's lots of different booths lining the walls, and tables and stuff set up, but there's just one long continuous bar set up where people are both eating and drinking, and kind of the full service kind of flavor to it. But what you guys do notice is that everything is really fucking mellow. There doesn't appear to be any kind of dick wagging or chest bumping. Everybody is just wanting to stay under the fucking radar. You see at least a dozen different races, including a couple of what you guys both know to be what are called the Coalition Dog Boys, who must be, runaways, as they're called. Once they've left the enslaved servitude of the Coalition, sometimes they just, go off on their own and do their own thing. There's a couple of them sitting at the bar that are scarred up beyond belief. They look like they've been basically whipped and beaten with some kind of energy weapons that have left, burn scars across a lot of their bodies. In fact, one of them is actually missing his entire lower jaw, and he just has a simple cybernetic, almost like a little kind of cup device that it's almost like the basin of a really small drinking fountain set up, and it allows him, you can tell from how he angles his neck, to at least be able to swallow food and liquids and things like that. You can see that most of the teeth above that mangled jaw area are all shattered and broken off, and for this creature you both feel nothing but empathy. You can tell that in his prime, like his companion, he was an impressive physical specimen that easily could have ripped a normal human being limb from limb without even trying. But in this state, obviously his future will be nothing but pain and even disgrace. As you look at them, they kind of look over at you at the same instant, and both of them just raise a kind of silent toast to you as you enter the bar. And you see the one still capable of speech. He holds up two clawed fingers from a cut-off style padded glove, and he just kind of waves over towards you, and you see that he's just notified the bartender that he wants to put a round of drinks for the both of you on his tab.
Hey.
As he does so, once again, they both lift their glasses to you, and as you guys step over to the bar, your drinks very quickly arrive. Yours actually bear, Ymir, yours is a large, it almost looks like a coconut shell but oversized to be the size of about a basketball with the top chopped off. And in this shell, there smells to be there. It smells of some kind of sweet liqueur. As you look down into it, you see that there's a lot of grit in the bottom, almost like tea that wasn't filtered very well. But the odor coming up is herbal and earthy and just very, very potent. And it smells pleasing. Other than that, not much is happening. What would you guys like to do?
I'll take the cup, raise my glass with them, and
Okay.
take a nice fat swig, and then put it down.
Okay.
I will look at the two and say, "Greetings, traveler. I appreciate your generous offering. What are you guys up to for tonight?"
As you say this, they have kind of taken the initiative. They kind of walk, over closer to you, and you guys are all, in the relative same area. Ymir, are you just kind of along for the ride, or are you wanting to...
Ymir's reaction is slower, more measured. He has respect for what these warriors went through, with what these beings went through. He understands what slavery is, he understands what slave warriors look like, and understands what battle scars look like. So as a sort of deep sign of appreciation, it's not just like a cheerful skull. He raises the giant half basketball pumpkin cup very slowly and nods to them both very deeply before taking a sip, realizing that it's a gesture between two beings that come from similar backgrounds or understand each other's lot in life. There's some sort of understanding between Ymir and these creatures, just as from warrior to warrior, from veterans of war between one another. Basically, giving both honor to them and honor to their sacrifice, and obviously the compatriot sacrifice who can't speak with all the scarring, and yes.
Okay. All right. As this all transpires, the bartender walks back and forth a couple of times as everybody's kind of getting grouped up. And as you guys toast and have this kind of solemn sign between warriors, you notice that the rest of the bar and restaurant is pretty mundane. You're just not seeing anybody that's really kind of kicking up any interest, and you're hearing some just real light general conversation going on in the background, but nothing heavy, and nobody's really,
May I
standing
roll
out
a
at all.
perception check to see if I can see if the patrons are armed? The patrons around us are armed.
As you gaze around to the best of your ability, you don't see anybody armed at all in here.
Okay.
Can we just walk in with our weapons? Fuck it.
Well, again, there's something going on here where you guys are noticing security almost seems non-existent in the aristocrat, but something is keeping people on at least
In line.
In line is a good way to put it. I was going to say on their best behavior. It's not that, but there's some kind of understanding going on here where you're noticing that throughout most of it. There's some creepy shit running around, but it's not lawless. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And
Would you say that there is order about?
I mean, I wouldn't say anything. I would never tip my hat. As you guys cheers, the bartender does come back over and just quietly inquire if anybody's hungry or needs, anything else to drink. The warriors I'll just say the dog boys, they look over, and in a strange kind of lilt, you're not sure what exactly the accent is. They say in American, and again, that's kind of like an English-Spanish kind of hybrid that's used in most of North America. With that little bit of an accent, the one with the jaw says, well met, warriors. A warm and pleasant night to thee. And with this, he just takes another sip of his drink and kind of nods again. His companion doesn't appear to say anything at all.
The
Well, I
one
would
that
hope
can't
not.
talk.
Anybody
I look
saying
at
or doing
the,
anything?
I look at the bartender and kind of do like one of these, like
Okay.
another 4 drinks or another round.
Okay. And they reciprocate the nod of gratitude that you guys shared. You guys share another round. There's not really a lot of conversation going on. After a few minutes, you hear the one without the jaw kind of grunt just a little bit, and as he does so, he kind of begins to cough, and as he does so, his chest starts spasming really bad, and you can tell that the amount of air he can seem to even expel doesn't seem adequate. So he's just having a lot of different troubles. Physiologically, he seems like he's not in a very healthy state, and has a lot of lingering wounds. As this kind of little racking coughing fit happens, you see his friend reach over and just kind of grasp his shoulder with his massive clawed paw, and he just kind of puts his head down towards his friend, almost like in a sign of solidarity. The fits do not cessate, however, and so the healthier of the two looks up at you both with kind of glossed over eyes, and simply says, that'll do for us this evening. Until next we meet. And the both, even though it's difficult, give you a very kind of, respectful bow. And then very quickly, they both go about trying to get the more injured of the two somewhere safe for a respite to collect himself.
I'll
As
go ahead
they...
and stand up and do a quick bow, show a sign of respect.
Okay. All right.
As they leave, as they get up to leave, Ymir flags down the bartender with one finger, one of his massive bread loaf fingers that he raises up, and says, "Food for bear, meat for friends. I pay."
Okay.
Basically, he wants to send them with food on their way.
As you do that, the bartender nods and just kind of whispers to you, I'll make sure they both receive it. It's a female bartender that's, of ample size. You'd guess she's maybe like half orc. And she just very gruffly just kind of like nods, understands, and gives you just a little bit of a, nod of respect for doing the gesture. That's going to be, let's go ahead and do 50
How
credits.
much?
50 credits.
50?
And that's taken care of quickly, no issue at all. They both retreat with a final thank you for your generosity. The food will be brought to both of the parties, and okay, nothing else really eventful seems to be happening in the bar. You guys sip on your drinks and spend about 15-20 minutes just kind of nursing your drinks and relaxing. Did you want to order anything to eat or no?
I'll get Nice, hunky slab of meat. But
Okay.
I'm gonna take it to go.
Okay. All right. You get just a meal, some sliced beef, potatoes, vegetables, and some bread, and all in house, fresh. And as you finish ordering, Ymir, is there anything you'd like?
The same, just in giant portions.
Okay. All right. And
Yep.
you wind up grabbing it's essentially like a whole roasted ham and all kinds of trimmings and shit, but it's just, portioned out for someone your size.
So that was 50. How much is that? So I know how much to deduct, because I'm paying for a comma as well.
All together for everything, it'll be 100 credits.
Okay. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay, you guys get your food in front of you. You're wanting to take it with you, is that right?
Yeah, I'm taking mine upstairs.
Okay. Ymir,
Ymir, as a comma says that he's going to take his upstairs, Ymir looks at him and goes, "You go. I check on Wotek. I'll meet you there. Stay safe."
Okay.
Go ahead and give a nice bow with my
Okay.
food.
All right. As you part ways, Akama, you head back up to the room without incident. You get there and fucking Ren is out. Dude is fucking out.
We didn't listen. Okay, I got you.
Ymir, I take it you want to eat quickly and then go on over and check on Wotek?
No, he's taking his plate so he can eat next to Wotek.
Oh, I get you. Okay.
Mhm.
So you head on over to the area where he's being boarded, and you guys.
Sure there's drinks only allowed out there, or no food? We don't have servers out here.
What's that?
Reminds me of restaurants. Where they're like, "Oh, sir, no food over in this section. This is drinks only. You can only have the food with the
right.
server."
Yeah, this shit's like, what's that fucking, the one with the knights that fight in front of you? I forget what restaurant that is.
Oh,
Medieval
Medieval
times.
times, yeah. It's like people eating turkey legs right in the bathroom and shit. It's crazy. All right, so you guys head your separate ways. Ymir, you go ahead and have your meal while Wotek is eating. Nothing really eventful happens. You guys just finally get to spend a little bit of time just kind of chilling out, getting back to the basics, and just like not having anything else draw your attention. And Akama, as you get back to the room, like I said, Ren is sleeping, and you're basically just left to find something to do. Is there anything in particular you want to get into?
After I go ahead and finish eating, I'm gonna take a step outside the door, and can I use my communicator and call Seraph?
You head. You're from the hallway. As you try your communicator, you're getting 100% dead signal, which is a sign that essentially it's all this is like a hardened facility. It's
No problem. I'll just head back inside and start working out.
okay.
Do like a few sets of stuff, and then ended up with a nice session of meditating.
Okay. All right. As you do so, you're able to very quickly restore your PPE and ISP back up to maximum with the meditation that you get in at the end. Did you want to shower after working out or no?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you get cleaned up, all that kind of stuff. You haven't really done a whole lot to kind of, clean gear and check gear and all that kind of stuff in a little bit. So you're starting to realize, relatively soon you should put some time into that. Everything that's been going on, you're definitely, as an Atlantean, you don't get tired like you're going to just miss something super important, but it's also not like you're perfectly aware all the time. Sometimes it helps to just fucking be able to zone out just like normal people, you know what I mean? So as you As you start getting to some busy work, you wrap up your meal with Wotek. Ymir, is there anything else you're wanting to do there?
Yes. As he sits next to the giant bear, he kind of exhales very deeply. And, oh, quick question, GM. Can I smoke in this facility where Wotek is? Would
Yeah,
it
you're
be
not seeing
apropos?
anything. You're not seeing anything that dissuades it. And from this guy's use of whatever the fuck was in his lip, you would guess that they're not too worried about
Okay, so
keeping
they're not
things
going to be like,
pristine.
it's a non-smoking area.
No, you haven't seen
okay.
anything denoting
Okay.
any of that shit. So
As he sits down next to his shield brother bear, gorges himself on the meal, and kind of exhales and takes stock of everything, from the goblins to the dark creature to the dark justiciar that he saw with the blades on him. There's a whole lot of stuff he's trying to compartmentalize, and he exhales, pets his brother, and looks very deeply at his ear right before reaching into his pack and pulling out one of the snaggleweed blunts that Blitz sold him. Remember, he bought him wholesale back at the monastery, so he's got quite a few. I think it's 6 or 8, something like that. I'll have to check my equipment.
Indeed.
But he pulls out one of noticing Wotek was coughing earlier. He is obviously concerned, but he knows from what Akama told him what a temporary fix for this is. He's still very concerned about the look of this mushroom and the whole thing about it, but knowing Blitz and having a contact where he can possibly get more information, he's happy to put a band-aid over it, at least for now, at least for these few hours, so they can get some sleep and move on to the next step. Maybe, very soon down the road, they will deal with the problem more permanently, but right now he's trying to relax, gather himself, and provide a sense of relief to his brother, reinforce that bond that you were talking about. Produce flame. Do I need an external source to be able to produce that flame? I can't remember. Or
Nope.
No, you can just form it from. I can just form it from like the palm of my hand.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let me cast. Let's see. Sorry, I got all my shit fucked up.
Oh, no worries.
Magic. Ignite fire.
Yeah, you literally could hold the blunt up to your lips and just make the tip of it just burst into flames. So,
boom.
Perfect. Okay, so that's what you do, and as you do that, you take a few nice big drags, and the very pleasurable sensation starts kind of flowing over you. You're wanting to go ahead and do what?
He builds up a big shotgun in his lungs. He turns to Wotek, kind of patting his head, wrestling his head lovingly, like, turn your head towards me, lifts his big floppy bear ear up and blows smoke directly over where the mushroom formation, the fungi, had been forming.
Okay, as soon as you do that, you see that the little kind of reservoir of growths instantly starts to sag and lose the kind of fullness of each of the little bulbs. And right away it kind of withers back, and you no longer see any of it protruding out of the ear canal, although the ear canal does still look bumpy, irritated, and the walls of it look kind of raw and look like they have almost kind of a slimy substance on them.
Okay.
A little bit of ear mucus.
Mega damage bear ear mucus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Ooh. Talk about antibiotic resistance. All right, so, and as soon as this happens, he also, for some reason, you see him look a little uncomfortable. It looks like it causes him a little bit of discomfort while it's happening. And then as the stuff recedes, you actually see that his eyes seem to clear a little bit. And when he looks you in the eyes again, he looks like he's not completely sober, but more